You've been listening to us for a while, have you been? You may have been hearing us say often, because we say it often, that everything that you want, whether it is a material object or a stack of money or a relationship or a circumstance or an event, everything that you want is because you believe you will feel better in the having of it. And we want you to understand that you will feel better in the wanting of it. You will feel better in its reason for being. You will feel better for the focal point of it. You will feel better for the reason to focus for it, you see. And the outcomes must come. They lean your way, they lean your way, they lean your way. You get all of the things that you want. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. But you have to decide, what is it that you want? You have the energy, the power that creates worlds flowing to you and through you. But it doesn't flow to you because you're just standing there. It flows to you because you're standing there with desire. You're standing there focused upon something. You're standing there having sifted through contrast and having put things into your vortex. And that vortex, which you can't see or smell or hear or taste or touch, is a moving, it is moving energy. And the energy that is moving in your vortex, because of all of the contents that you've put there, one rocket of desire after the other, that moving synergy, that energy is calling source to it. The question that this workshop wants to help you to focus upon and wants to help you to understand, to identify, to get your thoughts around and then to do something deliberate about is that we want you to be one of those cooperative components that's already moving with that energy. We don't want you to be standing on the outside of this vibrational reality that you want so much, needing something about it to pop before you can celebrate. We want the celebration on the way to the Super Bowl. We want the celebration all along the way. We want you to be celebrating that you gave birth to the idea to begin with. That took something. The thing that we want you to understand is that sometimes the initial idea, or what you think is the initial idea, is the grid filling in. So let's say you're living some contrast. You know what you don't want. You really know what you don't want. It probably involves other people or another person. Something's going on. You're observing the what-isness of it, which is natural because here you are focused in the what-isness of this leading edge time-space reality. You're going to look at it. You're going to see it. You're going to know what's going on. So you're looking at some of it, and the contrast is sort of punching you. You can feel that there is something about this that you don't want. And in that process, you're launching some rockets. What we are wanting to submit to you is that every place you stand is your grid filling in, because things are always working out for you. That's the premise that so many of you have forgotten. Abraham, do you mean that when I'm in the middle of getting something that I very much don't want, that also is the grid filling in for me? Yes. And we have a question back to you. Did that contrast help you to define more clearly? Yeah. Did that contrast help you sharpen your desire into more specifics? Did that contrast, as you focused upon it, bring sometimes more contrast and more contrast that made you even more sure of what you wanted? And is that focus of value to you? So isn't everything that's happening, whether you're standing in a culmination that isn't what you want, isn't it still things working out for you? Isn't it? So if you can relax and know that, then you can start having fun with the creation. But most humans, they only want to have fun with the manifestation. And you know how long the manifestation lasts? Not that long. Not that long. There's another and another and another. So it's time for you. We love you so much. You know what's coming next. To face the fact that you are eternally on your way to someplace better. Eternally. You're eternally on your way to yet another improvement that your life has helped you to define. And when you relax and accept the perfection of the rotten thing that's happening right now, when you accept the perfection of this not going that well, but making you more sure about what you want, the minute you get over victimhood, the minute you get over feeling sorry for yourself, the minute you get over blaming someone else for where you stand, the minute you get over being unhappy about where you stand and instead appreciative of the opportunity for the clarity of focus that's happening to you, you're going to have fun along the way of your journey. In other words, everything that's happening is happening to your advantage. You just aren't ready to accept that everything is happening to your advantage. Because somewhere along the line, you've come to feel competitive. You've been made to feel less than. Someone's explained to you that you've got to buck up and that you've got to do your part and that you've got to pull your weight and that you've got to measure up. And that's the hard part, because it's so difficult, even at early ages, to figure out which measuring stick you are trying to measure up with or to. Wherever it was going to inspire a fresh new idea within you, because you knew you weren't going to bring the memory of what you've lived before. You knew you were going to just jump in fresh as a fresh new point of attraction, a fresh new grid, not filled in with much detail, just a fresh new vibrationally outputting grid. And you knew that law of attraction would immediately begin bringing to you responses to that grid. And you knew that no matter what those responses were, that you were going to observe them and respond to them and launch rockets about them and begin the creation of your conscious, from this standpoint, vortex. You knew it would be rewarding. You knew it would be fun. You knew it would be exhilarating. You knew it would be exciting. You knew that it would be interesting. You knew it would be provocative. You knew that it would capture your attention, and you knew that you would focus. And you knew that when you focus, that the energy that creates worlds would flow through you. And you knew that you were going to get to direct the energy that creates worlds toward the specific things that were important to you. And you eagerly came forth into that fresh new body, that fresh new perspective, understanding these things also. You knew that even though you were in this wee small body, no teeth, pretty awkward, you knew that the larger part of you would remain non-physically focused. And you knew that you had already attracted an enormous amount of well-being to that point of attention. And you knew that unless you began to do those things that you do when you were in physical form that would add contradictory energy to what you were about, you knew that well-being would come your way. But you knew that no matter what came your way, you would get clearer. And the most significant thing that you knew then, that many of you have forgotten now, that we want to remind you about now, you knew that no matter what, in any point in time, you could regain your balance, realign with that energy that creates worlds, come into vibrational harmony with who you really are, and in your new balanced state, begin again, right here, right now, where all of your power is, where the juncture of you and you meet. You knew that you could raise the vibration of your being, and that you would then don the clarity of that broader perspective. In other words, you knew that in any moment you could see through the eyes of Source into whatever situation or conversation you were about. You are right where you are. You are where you are. That's profound. Write that down. I am where I am. I am where I am. I am where I am. And what is the vibration that is emanating from me right now? Because I am where I am, but where I will be very soon as a result of the vibration that I'm offering right now, where I am that I am. You follow? You don't have memory that is hindering you. Your brain is not a storage cabinet. You have vibrational triggers that you emanate that attract other things. So the world that you live is new right now, 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 new right now. And you get a little run of vibration going on. Manifestations are going to follow. And we acknowledge that as manifestations that please you follow, that it's abundantly easier to focus upon something that pleases you and leapfrog into more that pleases you. We acknowledge that. We just want you to know that you are never going to be standing in a place where everything's exactly the way you think you want it to be. And if you will give up right now the need for it to be just the way you want it to be so that you can feel good, and instead decide that feeling good is all that matters and that you have the ability to feel good even if you're standing in a place where there's not a lot of physical evidence of the good feeling that you want, if you will use the power of your mind, then we like it so much. Someone called out the word, then you will experience the freedom that you think the dollars will bring you. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. We always like it best when you are patient enough to allow us a rampage of vibrational reality. When you will listen as you are with intenseness as we express to you the law basis of this universe. Because when you sync up with these universal laws and you no longer buck the current that have been giving you the rough ride, as you sync up with these universal laws, then that zest is within you and you vacillate from calm and satisfied to eager and passionate. That's your world. And that's what you came to live. That's the contrast that you wanted. So what a good day we've had today. Even though in a gathering like this, we are offering a lot of words, and so are you, something else significantly more important is happening, and that is the vibrational communication that is taking place. And on this particular day, because of your willingness to focus with us, because of the beautiful things that you individually brought to this gathering, not only those who sat in the hot seat and verbalized, but those of you who sat in your seats, who thought and responded, we've had a vibrational, revolutionary experience today. Without exception, your vibration is in a different place than where you started. You've chosen a different vibrational disc. And in most cases, that disc that you're upon is that high-flying, good-feeling disc. This is the momentum that you want to keep going. So I want to just briefly express to you what kinds of things happen to you when you are, for a period of time, in vibrational alignment with who you really are on that high-flying disc. Ideas of clarity begin flowing to you that feel almost as if they are coming from somewhere else. It feels like someone who cares about you is blending with you and giving you impulses that are different from the impulses that you might have been choosing, but they're impulses that are not controversial to you. They're not confusing to you. There's no should I or shouldn't I. You begin to feel a certainty about things that is what it feels like when you are consistently in alignment. It's not like those that you've known all of your life who just like a dog on a bone get hold of something and don't let go of it. It's a feeling of certainty that comes over you that you just know that if you follow through with this idea as it is flowing, that everything about it will go well. It's alignment is really what we're talking about. It's aligning with the highest part of that which you are and with the highest part of that which you have asked for. As we've been visiting over these hours that we've been together, everything that we have contributed, and for the most part, everything that you've contributed, has added to this higher frequency vibration. We don't want you to ever worry about dipping from it, because the truth of it is, friends, you cannot go back. You can't touch an understanding, even if you can't maintain it. You cannot touch an understanding like you have done here today and ever not benefit by that understanding again. In other words, you've moved to a new place, and everything about your life experience is going to reflect that change, even if you don't maintain it even all of this day. Esther and Jerry always teased that they should maybe put on the disclaimer that you signed, the one that lets you know that it's going to be recorded and that maybe it will be used for other things, that maybe they also should put in there, you're going to reach vibrational frequencies that you cannot go back from. That you're going to learn things that you're not ever going to be able to forget, because the larger part of you already knows them. And because of this gathering that you have willingly and magnificently participated in today, you have moved to a new vibrational frequency. You have found resonance with that larger part of who you are. Does that mean everything in your world is going to change suddenly? No, and that's a really good thing.